All right, our last example for this lesson. Pyrotech Incorporated is upgrading office technology by purchasing inkjet printers, LCD monitors, and additional memory chips. So it looks like they're purchasing 3 things. There's our hint that we're going to have 3 different variables. We also know that the total number of pieces of hardware purchased is 46. The cost of each inkjet printer is $109. The cost of each LCD monitor is $129, and the cost of each memory chip is $89. The total amount of money spent on the new hardware came to $4,774. They purchased 2 times as many memory chips as they did LCD monitors. Determine the number of each that was purchased. So let's let X be the inkjet printers. Let's let Y be the LCD monitors, and our memory chips be Z. We know some things here. We know that when we purchased all of the items together, there were 46 total items. We also know that the cost of each and the total amount that was spent. So I know that the inkjet printers were $109 per printer. The LCD monitors were $129. And each memory chip was $89. And the total amount that they spent was $4,774. We also know that they purchased 2 times as many memory chips as LCD monitors. So the LCD monitors we spent twice as many monitors as we did memory chips. I only need to rearrange one of my equations in order so that it's the same x, y, z. So I'm going to have instead 2y minus z equal to 0. Now let's create our augmented matrix. The first place in which we need to have a 0 value is here. So it looks like I'm going to multiply my top row by negative 109, and we're going to add to our middle row. And negative 5,014. My middle row we didn't need, but hopefully we'll get some smaller numbers here. So 0, 20, negative 20, negative 240. I see that all of these are divisible by 20 right away, so I'm going to divide everything by 20 right away before I recreate a new matrix, just to keep things a little more simple for us. Smaller numbers, if you will, to work with. That would then give me 0, 1, negative 1, negative 12, and our bottom row is still 0, 2, negative 1, 0. So again, a little easier numbers to manipulate and work with. I have my 0 in this location, so the next value I need to turn into a 0. But if I look ahead a little, maybe I want to try to get this one to a 0 first. Just to try something different. So to do that, I'm going to multiply my middle row by -2, giving us 0, -2, +2, 24. And then my bottom row is 0, 2, -1, 0, and we're going to add down. You'll see what'll happen here in a second. We'll still have 1, 1, 1, 46, 0, 1, -1, -12. When we add, we'll have 0, 0, 1, 24. 0, 0, 1, 24. All right, let's see what else we could do here. Because I already know that z is 24 based on this equation here. But if we notice, if I add up from here to here, I'll also get a 0 here and I'll know what y is. Well, then if I know what x and y are, how easy it would be to find, if I already know what z and y are, I could easily plug them in to find x. So I'm not going to multiply them by anything. I'm just going to add my rows. And if you can do some of these in your head, that's awesome. I'm just going to write it out. Because here I have 0, 1, 0, 12. So this tells me here, I know that y is 12, and here I know that z is 24, and since this top row is all in ones, it might be just easier to plug them in to identify what x is, instead of trying to go through the steps of performing and making this and this element a 0. So let's identify what x might be. I have x plus 1y of 12 plus 1z of 24. We know that has to equal 46. So x plus 36 is 46. When we subtract, we see that x equals 10. So that was a little simpler steps instead of manipulating our matrix. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, combining different pieces and different elements of the fastest way to get to a solution instead of creating more work, if you will. So we know x, y, and z now. So we know that they spent, back to the problem here, that there were 10 inkjet printers. We know that there were 12 LCD monitors, and finally we know that there were 24 memory chips to determine the number of each that were purchased.